You bought the index fund so you'd never have to bet on a few hot stocks. That was the whole point. Spread your money across 500 companies and stop worrying. Here's the uncomfortable part. Right now, about 10 companies quietly decide how your money does. So let me say the thing out loud that most investing videos skip. You did the responsible thing. You avoided the meme stocks, you ignored the hot tips, you bought the boring fund everyone recommends. And you were told that made you diversified. Mostly, it did. But underneath that calm label, something has been quietly changing for a decade, and almost nobody points it out. The fund you own to feel safe is now leaning harder on a tiny group of giant companies than it has in a generation. Before we open the hood, one thing. If you'd rather know exactly what you own than get blindsided in the next downturn, that's why this channel exists. Subscribe, and you'll always know what's really inside the funds everyone calls safe. Now, the real number. Step 1. See it. Here's how your index fund actually works. It's what is called cap-weighted, which sounds technical but is simple. The bigger a company gets, the bigger its slice of your fund. So as a handful of giants have ballooned in value, they've quietly swallowed more and more of the index. Today, analysts at firms like RBC call it the Great Narrowing. The 10 largest companies in the S&P 500 now make up about 40% of the whole thing. Read that again. Not 500 companies pulling their weight. 10 of them are 40% of it. Put another way, roughly 41 cents of every new dollar you put into an S&P 500 index fund goes straight into those same 10 names. And the 7 you've heard of, the ones people call the Magnificent Seven, are about a third of the index all by themselves. So here's what seeing it looks like in practice, and it takes about 60 seconds. Open the app for your main fund. Find the page that says Top 10 Holdings. Almost every fund shows it. Add up that top 10 weight, or just read the number they already give you. Whatever it says, that's the share of your money riding on those few names. Not the label on the fund. The actual number underneath it. And this is the part I want you to sit with. An index fund does not remove the bet. When 10 companies are 40% of it, it just hides the bet. That's not a scandal. It's not a reason to panic. It's just the truth about what you own, and you deserve to know it before the market reminds you the hard way. Step 2. Size it. Seeing the number is only half the job. Now you ask the calm, practical question. If those 10 names had a bad year all at once, how much of my money actually moves? The math isn't complicated. If they are 40% of your fund, and they fall 30% together, your supposedly safe index is down about 12% on its own, before the other 490 companies do anything at all. That's what concentration feels like when it finally shows up. Not on a normal Tuesday. On the day they all turn at the same time. And if this feels familiar, it should, because we've been here before. Rewind to the year 2000. Back then, the 10 biggest companies in the S&P 500 were only about 23% of the index. Today we are near 40%. So this concentration isn't a little high. It's nearly double what it was at the peak of the dot-com boom. Here's what happened next, and I am telling you as history, not as a forecast. From its March 2000 peak, the S&P 500 fell about half, and it didn't fully recover for roughly 7 years. Now hear me clearly, because this is where most videos go wrong. I am not predicting a crash. Nobody can time the market, and anyone who tells you they can is usually selling you something. The point of sizing the risk isn't to scare you out of stocks. It's the opposite. When you know the number ahead of time, A rough year can't ambush you into doing something dumb at the worst possible moment. Fear comes from surprise. Sizing it removes the surprise. Step 3. Settle it. This is where you decide on purpose, calmly, instead of reacting later in a panic. And the goal isn't zero concentration. A little tilt toward the biggest, most profitable companies on earth isn't automatically a mistake. The goal is that you chose it, with your eyes open, instead of it happening to you while you looked away. So once you've seen your number and sized it, you really only have 2 honest doors. Door 1. You look at your number and you're genuinely fine with it. If so, the move is to do nothing dramatic. Keep buying on schedule, keep your time horizon long, and let the greatest companies in the world keep compounding for you. That's exactly what John Bogle meant when he said, "Stay the course." Door 2. The number is higher than you're comfortable with. Then you spread wider, on purpose and slowly. You can add a total world fund, so you own thousands of companies across many countries. Or lean toward an equal weight version, where the giants get the same slice as everyone else. Notice what neither door is. Neither one is dumping everything in a fright. As Morgan Housel puts it, the first rule of compounding is to never interrupt it unnecessarily. You're not trying to escape the bet. You're just deciding how big you want it to be. So here's the whole thing, small enough to carry with you. See it. Size it. Settle it. See what your fund actually holds. Size what happens if those few names stumble together. Then settle it by choosing, calmly, how much of that bet you want. Do one small thing today. Open your main fund, find the top 10 holdings, and read the one number that tells you how concentrated you really are. Not to scare yourself, just to know. If you want the kind of investing where you always know what you own, and a scary headline never makes the decision for you, subscribe. That's what we do here. Calm investors. Build wealth with patience, not panic.